Hello, and welcome to Cypher's class. Today we are going to be learning about sublimation. This word refers to the act of switching out harmful habits for helpful ones. And what are habits? Well, we all know that habits are formed through repetition. So they are learned behavior, not something that we are born with. It is something we pick up along the way. Although difficult in the beginning, once set in, habits become second nature. It takes a while of repetition. So, positive habits that are supposed to be replacing the harmful habits are built through discipline. That's a fun word. And personally, I've been not the best friend of that word because it just rings a bell, if you know what I mean. But exceptions do not make progress. No. Just this once or one last time is not acceptable. This will not help you replace those negative habits for the positive ones. Because listen, those negative habits didn't just happen overnight. It took constant, faithful repetition over and over. So too does implementing the positive aspect that we are trying to replace that with take time again and time again to cement the patterns into our mind. And this is something good to remember. Only I can change me. Only you can change you. I am solely responsible for my own thoughts, actions, and responses. As a person that personally had issues in the past taking responsibility for my own actions, I can say I feel convicted, and I wrote this. Because at the end of the day, what you do is up to you. What you think and how you respond. Because this part says, I am not responsible for how others treat me. However, I am responsible for how I treat others. Let me read that one louder for the ones in the back just a little bit. I am not responsible for how others treat me. That's their business. What my business is I am responsible for how I treat others. And I just thought to add this point because when I'm trying to change something or implement a positive habit, a lot of times my excuse is, it feels like time is scarce. Right, but we all got the same 24 hours. The peasant and the billionaire all have the same 24 hours in the day. Time can always be made. Time can always be made for what's important. I don't have time is a sorry excuse to not do something that you don't want to do. Because time for what matters can always be found. When you want to do something, you can make time for that. What do I spend my time doing? It's a good question to ask about. Well, ask yourself and bring up some truth. What you spend your time doing is what your life consists of. And does it help you or hurt you? Because ultimately, if you spend most of your time doing helpful things, you'll have a good life. So you can guess what happens if you spend your time doing hurtful things for a majority of the time. and we wonder why our life is upside down and in turmoil. So don't forget it, sublimation. Let's switch out those old harmful habits for new, helpful, productive habits and enact lasting change. It is possible. Peace.